Before I say anything else, I want you to think about one person. Just one. Someone in your life, a partner, a friend, a family member, who leaves you feeling exhausted after every interaction. Someone you love, maybe even deeply, but being around them costs you something you can't quite name. Do you have them in your head? Hold on to that person, because by the end of this episode, you're going to understand what exactly is happening between you and them and why it has almost nothing to do with how much you love each other. Stay with me. Welcome back to Smile Sessions. I'm your host, Christina Perry. And this is the podcast where we have the real conversation about healing, about the nervous system, and what it actually takes to feel like yourself again in your own life and in your own relationships. Today, we are going deep into something that completely shifted the way I see love, friendship, and connection. We're talking about regulated and dysregulated relationships, what they are, how to recognize them, and what to actually do about it. This is one of those episodes I wish someone did when I was in the middle of my hardest season. So if you've ever felt chronically on edge in a relationship, or wondered why some people leave you feeling full and others leave you feeling hollow, this one's for you. And before we go any further, if you're new here, hit subscribe. This community is built for people who are done pretending they're fine and ready to actually heal. You are in the right place. All right, so let's get into it. A while back, I shared that I was in the middle of a massive life transition. I was sitting in a space of the unknown, letting go of what was familiar, but not yet able to see what was coming next. And it was in this space that something became impossible to ignore. I started noticing how differently my body felt around different people. Around some people, I could breathe. I'd leave a conversation feeling like I had been fed something, like I had more energy than when I arrived. Around others that I genuinely cared about, I'd leave feeling like I've run a marathon, depleted, tense, sometimes on the verge of tears and not even knowing why. And for the longest time, I thought that was about personality or compatibility or communication style. I thought, we just don't click like we used to. Or, I must be too sensitive. But I was wrong. What I was actually experiencing was nervous system regulation, or lack of it. And once I understood that, everything changed. Here's the thing. I need you to hear your nervous system doesn't lie. Your mind can rationalize. Your heart can make excuses, but your body is keeping score. Every single moment you're with another person. And it's time we started listening to it. So let's break this down. What does it actually mean for a relationship to be regulated or dysregulated? Your nervous system has one job: to keep you safe. It's constantly scanning your environment and the people in it, asking, am I safe here? Can I relax? Or do I need to protect myself? This happens below conscious thought. You don't decide to feel tense around someone. Your nervous system decides, and then sends that signal up to your body. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Humans are wired for something called co-regulation. From the moment we're born, we literally borrow calm from other people's nervous systems. A baby stops crying when its mother holds it. Not just because it feels loved, but because the mother's regulated nervous system sends a biological signal that says, you are safe. The baby's nervous system receives that signal and settles. We never stop needing this. As adults, we still co-regulate with the people around us, constantly, automatically, and without realizing it, which means, and this is the part that will change how you see every relationship in your life. The people you spend your most time with are either regulating your nervous system or dysregulating your nervous system. And that's not a metaphor. That's biology. So how do I actually tell the difference? Because sometimes we've been dysregulated for so long that it feels normal. We don't even know what regulated feels like anymore. I want to give you some concrete science, and I want you to think about that person you had in your head at the beginning of this episode while I read them. Signs a relationship is dysregulating you. You feel on edge around them, even when nothing is technically wrong. You rehearse conversations before you have them. You replay conversations after you have them. You feel like you have to manage their emotions before you can express your own. You are exhausted after spending time with them. Not in a busy way, in a drained way. You second guess yourself more around them than when you do when you're alone. You feel a sense of relief when plans get canceled. That relief, that exhale when they cancel, that's your nervous system telling you the truth. Signs a relationship is regulating you. You could be quiet around them and it doesn't feel awkward. You leave conversations feeling lighter than when you arrived. You can say hard things and trust it won't destroy everything. You don't have to perform or manage or shrink. You feel more like yourself around them, not less. Take a breath. Which list felt more familiar for the person you were thinking of? Now, here's the part I really need you to stay for, because this is where a lot of people get it wrong. A dysregulating relationship doesn't always mean the other person is toxic. It doesn't always mean you need to leave. Sometimes, and this is important, your nervous system is dysregulated because of your own unhealed wounds, because of what you learned about relationships growing up, because your body learned early that closeness wasn't safe, or that love came with conditions, or that you had to earn your place in every room. If you grew up in an environment where things were unpredictable, where a parent's mood shifted without warning, or where love felt conditional, or where conflict was either explosive or completely silenced, your nervous system learned to stay on guard, even in safe situations, even with safe people. So sometimes the dysregulation isn't about who they are. It's about what you're still carrying. And the hard, beautiful truth is, healing your nervous system changes your relationships, not by changing the other person, but by changing what you can tolerate, what you can receive, and what you finally stop accepting. Okay, so you've identified a relationship that's dysregulating you. Now what? I'm not going to tell you to immediately cut people off. Life is more complicated than that. But I am going to give you 3 things that you can start doing right now. Number 1, name what you're feeling in your body, not just what you feel in your mind. After spending time with someone, check in. Not just how do I feel emotionally, but how do I feel physically? Number 1, name what you're feeling in your body, not just in your mind. After you spend time with someone, check in. Not just how do I feel emotionally, but where do I feel it physically? Is there tension in my chest, tightness in my shoulders, heaviness in my stomach? Your body is giving you information. Start collecting it. Number 2, create intentional regulation before and after. Before you see someone who dysregulates you, give your nervous system something to anchor to. A few slow breaths, a walk, a moment of quiet, and after, do the same. Help your body come back down. This isn't about avoiding them. It's about protecting your baseline. Number 3, get honest about what your non-negotiables are. Some dysregulation we can work with and heal through. Some is telling us that a relationship has genuinely reached its limit. Only you can know the difference. But you have to be willing to ask the question honestly, without guilt, shutting it down before you get the answer. And if you need permission to ask that question, consider this your permission slip. I want to leave you with something that goes a little deeper than the science. There is something almost sacred about a relationship where you feel safe enough to be fully yourself, where you don't have to edit, perform, manage, or shrink, where your nervous system can finally exhale. I believe that is what we all are looking for underneath every relationship we enter. Not just love, not just companionship, safety. The felt sense that I am okay here. I can be here. I don't have to disappear to belong. And here's what I know to be true. The more you heal your own nervous system, the more clearly you can see which relationships offer that and which ones are asking you to keep disappearing in order to stay. You deserve relationships that bring you home to yourself, not ones that take you further away. That's our session for today. If this episode landed for you, if something clicked, or if you felt seen in a way you didn't expect, I want you to do 3 things. First, share this episode with someone who needs it. You probably already know who that person is. Second, leave a review on the platform where you listen to your podcasts. It takes 2 minutes, and it helps people who are quietly struggling to find this show. That matters more than you know. And third, come back next week, because we are just getting started. I'm Christina Perry, and this has been another session for your soul.